Oh,
Isaac.
oh my god, my head. Whew. Franco, what did you let me drink last night? Oh, what were we on? Tequila? Gin? Was it Peng? Were you making me drink Peng?
He's been out a long time.
So this is Franco. He's a key player in this story. He was the sort of protagonist of a previous installment called Dead Space Ignition. You followed him through sort of this initial outbreak, which directly precedes the events of Dead Space 2. And he's incredibly important to the story, obviously, because he sort of pops up now and again. He delivers pertinent information. Oh, I misremembered. Yeah, no, I misremembered. No, in fact, he just gets turned into this thing. Ooh. The eyes, the worms, the flesh wings. It's not a good... I like the torch. I like the shoulder torch, but apart from that, it's not a good look. Get out of here, Franco. Ugh, you suck.
Franco?
So keep an eye out now for this most appropriate prompt of all time. Run! There you go. Just run. And you can hear Dana screaming in the background. She's obviously trustworthy because she was, affiliated with a man who was trying to help us get out. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. We will mourn you, Franco. You could have been my best friend. Oh, there's another guy, there's another guy, there's another guy. And here we're introduced to, really, the real hero of Dead Space 2, which is this door. There you go. So, our protagonist, Isaac Clarke, in a straitjacket, portrayed by Gunnar Wright, who I think he did him in the first game, but as he was mainly limited to, screaming and grunting and what is probably the best stomping vocalization I think I've ever heard. But for now alone. Or not! New friends, new friends, new friends! Ooh! Ooh, bad. These guys obviously didn't go to, or have seen any horror movies ever, because you never go near the vents. Now, I can go near this one because I've played this game before and I know it's perfectly safe. And I also know that a torso falls out here. Yep, there we go. Say what you like about necromorphs. They work fast, because that guy used to have arms and legs and anything in his chest cavity up until like a minute ago. And now he just doesn't.
Advertisement to all project personnel. I want the key subjects terminated and the facility scrubbed. This is not a drill. Typing out.
Thank you, Tideman. I'm not sure who he expects to respond to that, since pretty much everybody is already dead. So, observation room! And we can actually make a couple of observations of our own in here. If we ignore all this stuff for the moment, ignore that dead guy, and we just kind of watch this guy. Nolan Stross. Like Isaac Clarke, his name is a sort of mashup of two famous science fiction authors. But I can't remember Nolan, so I'm just going to say he's named after Nolan North and Charles Dickens, because I can't remember. You can see here there's a marker indicating this is a sort of unitologist facility. They're basically, as has been said numerous times, space Scientologists, except slightly weirder, only slightly. Here's I don't know where people get, I assume that's either ink or poop. So, but his pants look like, so yeah, that's ink that he got somehow. So what you like about this game, and God knows that people sort of slated it almost for getting rid of the horror aesthetic entirely. As you saw from the opening, it really doesn't take the time that the original Dead Space does to ramp up that tension. When you first step on board the Ishimura in the first game, it takes so long to get going, and it sort of really ramps up this tension. So when you do finally see the first necromorph, it's horrifying. Whereas there, we saw Franco get eviscerated immediately, and in what might be the fastest death of a protagonist from a previous installment in a franchise ever. It makes Johnny Klevitz look like, he should have received a telegram from the Queen. Servers that you couldn't possibly get to without smashing these windows. A computer tower just left alone and unattended. Yep, it's all very standard sci-fi stuff. Exactly what you'd expect from a very sort of high security facility. Unfortunately for Isaac, all alone, except for new best friend, new best friend, new best friend, new best friend. Ugh.
Come on, man. Station 4. I remember you. Tideman said we'd allocate.
So he's actually another subject.
Terminated.
That has passed me by in the past. I sort of assumed he was a doctor. In retrospect, the fact he's in a straitjacket sort of clued me in.
We can both get out of here.
Say what you like about Gunnar Wright's portrayal of Isaac. That stubble is incredible. I won't hear a word said against that stubble. Ugh. Oh! What a terrible fake out.
There's no escape.
If anybody, I don't think anybody believed that Isaac was dead then.
Just take it easy.
Tackle him now, Isaac. Tackle him now.
The rig is
Ah,
it's red. There's a health pack and a flashlight in that wall locker.
that's a really weird line read of that. It's almost as though he forgot to say that it was red the first time. I'm also not 100% convinced that somebody who's in that guy's mental state would remember, that this is where the flashlight and some healing equipment is. To me, it sounds like he's more inclined to do something a little bit crazy.
Burn for what we did to you.
Oh! Yeah, like that. Oh, that's a shame. In fact, I've already got my flashlight. I don't care about you. So we actually have to progress through this room later, I'm pretty sure. The topography is the same at least. And there is a flashing alarm clock over there, which I'm going to point out later. And also, I guess, some dead people. Just for that really homely feel. After the first Dead Space, I was worried that I wasn't going to feel at home in this one, but then dead bodies everywhere, snap back right into it. It's like going home to my nan's, for Christmas.
Clark! Isaac Clark, is that you?
Who are you?
Hello!
Dana. I'm the one trying to rescue you.
Hey, Dana.
What's going on?
You're suffering from a unique form of dementia.
Pertinent questions with Isaac Clarke.
How do you know that? How do you know all this about me?
So I'm going to try and fantasy cast this game as we play it, as though it was going to be made into a sort of a film adaptation. She would be played by Sophie Clark from Game of Thrones. No. She'd be played by Jenna Coleman from... No. In fact, she'd be played by Hayley Atwell. And Isaac would be played by Hayley Atwell. And Tideman would be played by Hayley Atwell. And all the Necron would be played by Hayley Atwell. And it would be the best movie ever made. So, check this out. That's Isaac's rave function. Much like... That's ridiculous. Much like the butterfly net in Zelda. It can be used to sort of distract bosses and stuff. You just... Every time one's in the room, you just go... And their love of house enables you to get past them really easily. So here, as I said, is that room that we were... Yeah, there's our boy. He is dead. This room is... It's actually a really good way of teaching you both to use the locator, which I guess works as a bit of a hood for Isaac, and also tells him exactly the way to get through any environment. But it also teaches you to aim using the flashlight. And here we have the standard things you'd find on the floor in a dark room. So Lego pieces, old chocolate bars. This appears to be a VHS about fruit. Just, the usual. And again, dead people just to make me feel at home. You can see that... Noises! Jump scares! Isaac's calling the Midnight Society door. And I think... Do the lights snap back on? No, they do not. So you're escaping a medical facility, which is... Hang on, this is just all wheelchairs. This is just all wheelchairs. It's almost like that, outside a supermarket where they keep all the shopping trolleys, except for wheelchairs. That's ridiculous. I never noticed that. So, I love the Dead Space series. I'm distraught that, 4 hasn't been officially cancelled. I don't even think it's in pre-production, though. Visceral have said that there's a lot of... Fuck you, jump scare. There's a lot of internal support for the franchise, but they're working on a lot of Star Wars stuff. They basically have no time at the moment. So, nice little bit of foreshadowing there as to the true nature of the marker. Yeah, so if we don't get any more Dead Space, I'm going to be genuinely gutted. I mean, I absolutely love it. But as I said, this is almost the first time in 2 years I've played through the game. So I'm going to be terrible. We're actually just approaching the first time we encounter some necromorphs. So fuck you. Fuck you! So I'm probably going to die that first time. And as is the nature of Killstream, if that happens, that's the end of the recording. I'm just going to stop it there. It's a sort of one death, one place sort of thing. Save forever, save forever, save forever. Not save. No. God only knows what was going on here.
Why are you helping me?
If Tideman finds you, more people will die.
Including me.
Not if you follow my route.
I don't like this.
You don't have to like it. Just hurry before
Here's some interesting trivia for you. Root is Australian slang for sex. So I'm going to be looking at that through this lens the entire time. In the first game, Isaac was nominally an engineer. In this game, you actually do get significantly more elaboration on that point. See, he just as real engineers do, he just rips it out of a piece of, machinery, and it just works incredibly well. That said, Kinesis is the most satisfying game mechanic, of this generation. I feel like it's just, there's my boy. It's just so, no pun intended, visceral. Check this out. Bam, pinned into a wall. Oh, didn't pin into a wall actually, but then you can rip other people's limbs off and do that. Oh, you fool! Let me. I'll give you a big hand for that attempt. Also, as you will have seen there, and has been pointed out in numerous webcomics, people keep all their valuables and all their items in their torsos. Audio logs, ID, presumably the lunchboxes and stuff, it's all contained within the chest cavity. Which, thinking about it, gives a good reason for why those necromorphs at the start managed to eviscerate that guy. They were after his sandwiches. That checks out. Oh. It's very it's very Dark Souls-ish. You have to sort of put the lore together. It's very, it's very nebulous and very sort of loose in that regard. But we've just established that necromorphs are after sandwiches, and that apparently wheelchairs are the most valuable item, which is why they're hoarding them in this location. I remember this room. I wish I didn't remember this room. Here we go. Yep. Yep, that's a dude. There's a guy. Grab that. Oh god. Grab that. Smash that. Grab one of these. Where's my new friend? There he is. And again. Oh, yes. I hope Dana was watching because she's going to be super impressed. Sophie, no, sorry, Haley Atwell's going to be, and I'm going to play the part of Isaac, obviously. So Gunnar Wright, the guy who actually does play Isaac, in doing research for this video, I found out he raced motorcycles professionally until he's 21, which is unbelievably cool. I mean, he's got the best life. Raced motorcycles, grew up in space. I may be confusing character and actor there, admittedly. We also have, I mean, everybody's good in this game. We also have Sunita Henry. Yes! We also have Sunita Henry playing Ellie, who has been in almost as many great sci-fi franchises as Mark Shepard has. I mean, not as many, because nobody has been in as many sci-fi franchises as Mark Shepard. But she has been in, yeah, that is my favourite prompt. She's been in Doctor Who. She's been in Star Trek. She's been in Dead Space. All the greats. You can see the stomp mechanic in action. Actually, if you've played this game before, you can tell that this is not so subtle foreshadowing. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say that later on something happens that is eye-related, and that is needle-related, and that is a needle going through an eye-related. But no spoilers. No spoilers. So this is the cheapest silhouette in gaming history. Although, also nice foreshadowing the fact that you do have to remove these things' limbs. Urgh! Get out of here! Big red button. Look. Wheelchair, again. 300 credits in a neck. Ooh. I will help. What's going on, buddy? Listen, I know I didn't have good luck with Franco or that doctor, but check this guy out, new friend for Isaac.
You!
Don't worry, guy.
You! Thank God! Please, come help me!
I will come help you, and then maybe later we could go out for a bit. I mean, just go out, maybe play some table tennis, well, language, but let's go play some table tennis, go play some Pong, maybe get some Peng. Don't know what it is, but let's go get some Peng.
Calm down. I'll cut you out of there. Is that a tissue laser? A plasma cutter?
It's kind of a flimsy justification. Don't worry about it, you're going to be fine, Isaac's on the case. But it's kind of a flimsy justification for how you get your plasma cutter in this game. Oh, he does well. He would have been a really good friend for Isaac if, he had legs. I don't... Oh, hang on, we've got a load of wheelchairs. Oh, he doesn't have a head. Alright. It is my go-to move in this game, and it's probably not actually a very good idea, but I love... And I realise how this makes me sound like a psychopath, but I love shooting them in the leg, getting them down, and then... Oh, hang out, buddy. Just hang out there for a sec. Urgh. Yeah, it's a very flimsy justification for why you get your plasma cutter here. In the first game, it was explicitly a piece of engineering equipment. I did an entire arc of my webcomic that was sort of Dead Space based, and in that I just couldn't get past the fact that they keep referring to this stuff as engineering equipment, whereas it's really not. It's construction worker equipment. Isaac is a construction worker, basically. He just happens to have access to all this stuff that... I have the character in mind have a plasma protractor for example, because that's the sort of stuff that engineers would use. You've got to give this game this. It is so memorable. That was a terrible miss. That was also a terrible miss. It's so atmospheric and just great early on. It has some of the best set pieces of all time. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to them because I'm not good at the game, so I'm probably going to get to about first boss and then die. But, hopefully it'll give you some flavour of the game if you've never played it. Dead Space 3, not so well regarded, and yet...
Isaac, it's Dana. You have to dismember the creature.
Hey, Dana!
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
Just try to stay in one piece.
Thanks.
I wonder if that was Dana making a stealth pun there about staying in one piece when, these necromorphs are almost made of plasticine. In fact, throughout the game, Isaac is also made of plasticine. He will explode at the littlest provocation. Like, sometimes you'll walk into a door and he'll just, that's not true. That's not true. Doors only target necromorphs, as we've seen. So, one of the complaints actually about the start of this game was that they gave Isaac a face and a voice and a personality all of his own. Which, I prefer, but the fact that he does spout quips like that in the middle of this, essentially, zombie outbreak in space, where, the rest of us would be going like, oh, God, Jesus Christ. He's sort of, he makes puns, he makes quips. And I guess, you can make the argument that he's been desensitized to it all after, the events of Dead Space 1. But, I don't buy it. So, he's a human. I can grab him and throw him. Oh! Oh, he looks like he's been unzipped. I'm not happy about that. People just fall apart in this game. It's not quite Metal Gear Revengeance level, cut anywhere, but you can basically just... If you don't like a limb, you see somebody you think, hey, they look better without an arm, you can do it. Cut off their limbs. Again, who took the time to scroll that? I think there's something in a room up here that gets me like that. That nobody would take the time to write it. Who is that altruistic that in the middle of all this they thought, you know what, I've got blood, I'm going to use it to write on the wall. Very legibly, actually, considering. Wheelchair. Fire. Check this out, it's actually such a good looking game. Oh, yes! So here's a pro tip. This toy plane is... People will tell you it isn't. And people will tell you that it's just a myth or a lie that I'm telling now. But this is the most damaging thing in the game. If a necromorph appears, you spear it with this, dead instantly, I'm telling you. Jump scare, but it does herald something a little bit more untoward, I think. Specifically from, yep, vent. I know you're there, come on! Oh, I've broke my own rule of going near the vent. See, check this out, one-hit kill. Oh, not a one-hit kill. See, they brace themselves on their... Oh god, that was terrible. They brace themselves on their arm stalks, and you can use it to just get a moment's grace. Hey! Hey! You got speared. Yeah, I'm not having that. I love it. I love it almost as much as I love Dana, which is a lot. No necromorph fish, which I always thought was a wasted opportunity. Mind you, that would have opened the door to necromorph octopuses, and since octopuses are the worst thing on the earth, I'm glad they didn't do it. They have no place here. They are more horrifying than these necromorphs. Glowy thing, that is game designer for look over here. Here we can see the rave mechanic at work. Also telling us where to go, which would actually be fantastically useful in nightclubs. I'm sure they're going to do it eventually. They're going to get around to it. Get out of here, flowers. They remind Isaac of his dead girlfriend. I'm playing this in character. Yeah, it actually does a decent job of... Obviously it railroads you. It's a very linear game, but it does a good job of making it feel like you are just progressing through these environments very naturally. Blood packs. Oh, get out of here! I just said. Plasma energy, credits. They will be used to buy my suits. In fact, I still, having played through these games before, I feel incredibly vulnerable. Ooh. Friend? No.
You begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the business. I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. How to save a life.
That is almost the equivalent trope of in TV shows where they turn on the TV at exactly the right moment, and then I mean, God knows what that guy. Oh, he's been unzipped. Jesus. Actually, I think the term is that degloving is different. And do not look degloving up because it is horrifying. The area you woke up in is sort of deeper within that and only accessible to people with higher security. Again, actually, the game doing quite a good job of building tension. It's a difficult game to talk about, it really is, because it takes inspiration from so many other things that it's almost hard to talk about without spoiling those things. So there are a couple of enemy designs, for example, that strongly resemble stuff that you find in Alistair Reynolds' novels. So there's this species in Pushing Ice called the Musk Dogs, and you find a boss like, yeah, okay, fine. And you find check out this fantastic menu system. It's such a good game. I mean, the way Isaac immediately turns his head is a little bit awkward, but whatever. Yeah, Musk Dogs, they resemble this, not common enemy type, but something you do come across later on in this. Whereas obviously the setting is pure... Ooh, my buddy! New friend. Get out of here, wheelchair. And this is another reason why I feel like Isaac is better voiced. Oh, fuck you, Strauss. You dick. Patient 5. Or Subject 16, if you will. So, I remember this giving me...
There's a security lockdown.
This bit giving me some serious trouble the first couple of times I played through the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure that these guys just... Oh! Yeah, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Get down. Speared. I'll take it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm in trouble. Gotcha. Oof. Oh, Jesus. What you want to do, I'm showing you a pro tip here, what you want to do when you're being attacked is just get yourself caught in a corner. Ooh. The game's been foreshadowing that these would be incredibly useful, so here we go. Yeah, take that. Yeah. This is, oh shit, this is almost as fun. Oh, hang on. No, he's developed immunity to wheelchairs. Oh. But there you go, Dead Space 2 continuing the long and storied association of aliens and wheelchairs.
Dana! Okay, you're right. I do need your help. Talk to me.
Look, Isaac, we don't have to.
What's that noise?
But like it or not, we're stuck together.
Hey, I would like to be friends, Dana.
Not me.
You know, I'm not saying more than friends now, but, you know, maybe eventually.
Where the hell am I?
Especially if we play by Haley out
If
loud.
outbreak had started.
You're on Titan Station orbiting Saturn. As for the outbreak,
More pertinent questions from Isaac Clarke.
Tideman's jamming my signal.
It's ever so slightly different a setting than Dead Space 1, which was a planet cracker mining ship called the Ishimura. But again, it is all set in space, which is kind of why I feel like they went... Get out of here, Flowers! Which is kind of why I feel like they went a different route for Dead Space 3, which is, spoilers, kind of set on an ice planet called Tau Volantis. In a real John... Again, it takes heavy inspiration from John Carpenter's The Thing. Which, no bad thing. Oh, God. I didn't mean that. The game should punish me for that terrible pun. You know what, I regret saying that. I've definitely jinxed myself. This grab anything, throw it. More wheelchairs, Jesus Christ. I realised that they can only have so many assets in the game, but... Oh, that guy's head was already off. That wasn't fun. Triage room. I remember, again, this is another room that gave me an awful lot of problems when I first started playing. So I think the plan is just going to go berserk with it. Here we see some of... I mean, this is... I've spoken to, you know, my friends who have experience with actually hacking stuff, and this is exactly how they do it. You rotate this thing until the light goes blue, and then you press A. I don't know what the A equivalent is in real life. They're not just going to give all their trade secrets away to me, but... So, yep, here we go. Get slow. That is why Gunner Wright is so good in this game. Did you hear that, yeah? It's fantastic. So Stasis was in the first game. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here is the evil twin of that door that helped me out at the start. This thing will cut you in half in, like, no time flat if you let it. And these are just kind of the standard... Oh! Oh, buddy. Oh, we've all been there. That's like my Saturday night. Oh! Except I... Oh, dear. Except I was... That's like my Saturday night. Spew everywhere. Christ. Ooh! Nice, buddy. Your sacrifice will not be in vain, I promise. Yeah! I didn't mean to do that, but nice little indication that it was actually dead. I don't think it's ever given... Maybe they do give a canon explanation of why you can't just grab... Oh no. See, this is why I don't go to the doctors. But yeah, it's kind of... They never give you a canon explanation for why you can't grab living things. I don't think, at least. They might well have... Yes, they might well have tried it at some point, but I ignored it in favour of killing Necromorphs. I actually do know a surprising amount about the lore of this game. It's like I know a surprising amount about the lore of the Metal Gear Solid series, despite never having played one apart from Revengeance. And I guess I played a little bit of 3, but everyone's played 3 because it's fun. Good to know that in the future, elevators still take a long time. I mean, we knew that from Mass Effect 1. But, I mean, Christ, do you remember the getting down to the sort of Oh. Nursery rhyme used in a creepy way is a horror trope that can't go away. I hate balloons. They remind me of Isaac's childhood. Yeah, 2 for 1. See now, wheelchairs, great, but what you really want to do some damage with is this baby stroller. Now I have flowers. Again, look, that's clearly poo, right? Somebody found poo. There doesn't appear to be a bathroom anywhere near here. It's either poo or viscera, and they managed to scroll, "I don't want to die." Again, you wouldn't scroll it. It's like, it's a Monty Python joke, right? It's the castle. You would just say it. Unless you're dictating, you would just say it. And that's depressing as well. Off, I think. You will... crimes. It's sort of a nice use of negative space there. Whoever was scrolling this in their own poop was obviously an art school graduate. That's mine. Gosh. Ooh. I have never noticed that before. Give yourself... Save yourself, rather. That would make more sense than give yourself. Oh! Did you check out that sort of foreshadowing before? Isaac's more of an everyman in this scenario. Obviously, he's incredibly badass. Like, I would have just thrown myself out there and got it over with. But you know, he screams. He says, "Holy shit!" I mean, admittedly, he quips, but I like to think that I would. I did a zombie experience recently that taught me that I absolutely would not. But, you know, I still like to think that given the right circumstances, I could. So, safe space, safe room, safe forever. Except... Yeah, kind of cheap. There's... I can't remember... Oh, it's Resi 3. Yeah. There's a safe room in that. And, you know, if you've played a Resi game, you know that you've been conditioned to think that safe rooms are always safe. I think they do something about it in the Resi, you know, in remake. But until that point in the series, safe rooms were sacrosanct. They were hallowed ground. You know, nobody. In fact, I think the one that they actually used to subvert that rule in 3 is in a chapel. You've been taught that it's safe, and all of a sudden they go, "You know what? Get lost. You're never safe anymore." So riot suit or the standard engineering suit. That one's free. Engineering suit is incredibly badass, so I'm going for that. This looks incredibly painful, and yet I cannot wait for the day. I cannot wait for the day that I can actually do this for real. Just step into a big metal tube, and then come out dressed, you know, in whatever was most appropriate for the day. You know, is it a wedding? I'm in a tux. You know, is it everyday wear? I'm probably just going to be in a hoodie and jeans. Am I fighting necromorphs? I'm going to have my engineering suit back on. I like the idea that Tideman never really kept this suit safe for him specifically. God, I'll tell you what though. It's a good looking game, isn't it? And it's a particularly... It's such a... At the time, or at least, it was a completely unique design for sort of a survival horror, you know, sci-fi protagonist. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It looks fantastic. I mean, to my mind, it's probably the most iconic. People really like the Elite suit. I really like the Elite suit, but this is just so much better. And look, it's beautiful. You can look out at this sort of shattered cityscape that's, you know, in orbit around Saturn and just love it. Oh, hang on. I'm the best. I mean, I'm about to die to this boss, but I'm the best. I spotted that thing that only the majority of gamers have spotted before. So yeah, if you've any sense, you'll realise that this is in fact a boss arena. You can tell because it's got this, emergency care wing, big cross there, just to leave it a sense of false security. It's absolutely huge. My TK does not allow me to grab it from this far, but there we go. Ooh. Alright, this thing is going down. This is what, when I talk about musk dogs from Alistair Reynolds, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This thing looks like one of those guys, or at least how I imagine them. Sort of this gristly combination of multiple entities just sort of riding around each other. As with most enemies in the Dead Space series, though, it's actually just a bunch of people smashed together. So yeah, there's that. It's nice. Come get some muskie. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, or isn't there? Yep, so there we go. As you can see, safe forever. Just, yeah, get out of here, Limmy. Oh, that's right, he's got a tongue. So you can see there sort of human, oh god. That's actually closer to me on a Saturday night / Sunday morning. Oh god damn it. That got me. That really got me. I completely forgot about it. Oh Christ.
I need more answers. How long have I been here?
3 years. Tideman found you floating in space near Aegis 7 and brought you here for study.
Why can't I remember anything?
The marker you found imprinted your brain with a self-replicating signal. The longer you're awake...
So somebody found floating in space
Tideman tried to keep it in check with memory suppression.
after an attack or, something slightly unnatural, and who has a secret locked in his brain. If you've ever read The Star's My Destination by Alfred Bester, that might sound a little bit familiar to you, since it's the plot of that. And yet, obviously, draws huge inspiration from the Alien series, which are all great apart from most of them. 1 and 2, absolutely incredible, and some of the best naming conventions ever. You want to start with singular and then go to plural. This series should have gone Dead Space to Dead Spaces. Creepy noises, creepy noises.